There's a famous parable that we give this time of year, and it goes as follows: that there was a king and he had a prince, and the prince said to his father one day, "You know, Dad, I think I'd like to go out and see the wider world. I'm a bit claustrophobic here in the palace." So the king says, okay. He gave him lots of spending money. He says, go and enjoy yourself, but remember where you come from. Don't get lost. So the prince goes out and he has a whale of a time, and he goes and he tries different foods, and he dresses in different clothes, and he gets rid of the royal garb, and he learns different languages. And all of a sudden, after a few months, a year or so, he's like, okay, running out of spending money, I better go back to the palace. So he goes back to the gates. The guards are standing there at the gates, and they say, who are you? So the prince says, I'm the king's son, but he can't get the message across because he can't speak the language and he's not wearing the right clothes, and they don't recognize him. And they said, sorry, you can't come in. And the prince, it just dawns on him. All of a sudden, he realizes he's not going to get in. He's not going to get past the gates. And he starts crying and he's sobbing, and the noise pierces the heavens, and the king in the palace recognizes that noise, and he runs down. He says, my son, and they embrace, and they go back into the palace. And this is what the sound of the shofar represents on Rosh Hashana, that over the course of the year and our lifetimes, we sometimes forget our roots a little bit. We forget how to dress and how to pray. And the mitzvot, we sometimes lack a little bit here, a little bit there. We could do more with keeping kosher, keeping Shabbat, the Yom Tov, giving more tzedakah, helping people out more. And over the year, we forget. We hear the sound of the shofar. Rosh Hashana is like, oh, our souls are calling out, go back to your roots. Remember what we're down here on this world to achieve. And please God, when we hear the shofar, we will reconnect and re-energize and go back into the palace, as we are all royalty. And we wish you all a Shana Tova M'Tokah, I myself, a sweet and happy new year, and all the blessings that you could wish for. See you soon over Yom Tov.